Hey, welcome to Integrative Preparedness. I'm Steve Smith. Good evening to you all. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing pretty well myself. Just about got this crud whipped, I think. I'm back having a buffalo sweat. For those of you who have missed watching me drink my buffalo sweat, I know Doc Galt out there has been wondering where the buffalo sweat is. Well, I laid off it for a while because I didn't feel like doing much anything except getting out of the, staying in the chair. So now I'm feeling back at it. I want to talk tonight about being the predator. I don't know if this is going to get a little hardcore for YouTube or not. We'll just see. If I see a bunch of stupid comments or wannabe tough guys on here trying to act tough and making comments, I just might switch it over to Patreon. But we'll just kind of see how it goes. I got the reason that I'm talking about this is I got an email from somebody, one of our patrons, who asked me, and he sent me a link to another channel, and he asked me what I thought about what he called wolf predators. And I know these terms have been bandied about for years and years. The sheep, the sheepdog, the wolf, and all this kind of stuff. And I don't, I guess those are handy terms to use. But I've always kind of shied away from them myself. I think they're, it's just not me. It's just not me. So he sent me the link to a video, and it was I've seen the guy's channel before. Seems like a real nice guy. Prepared Homestead. It's either Prepared Homestead or The Prepared Homestead. Real smart guy. Real likable looking guy. I forget his name. Big beard. He's somewhere in Missouri. And he was talking about this. I only had a chance to watch part of it. Like I said, I've seen several of his videos before. He's not on my normal watch list. Not that there's anything, I have absolutely nothing against him at all. Every time I've watched him, seems like a smart guy, sharp guy, a guy that if I had time I'd like to watch. I just don't have time, so that's all. And I didn't have time to watch the whole one today, but I got the gist of it. Something came up, I forget what it was. Something came up and I had to go get it, but I got the gist of it, and so I want to talk about that. Oh, before I get much further, by the way, this is not brought to you by Sandy Hook Promise or anything else like that, any silliness like that, or any other liberal things. Brought to you my books, the Stonemont series. You got to glare off the lights there, don't we? My books, the Stonemont series. The Reversion, the Revival, the Renewal, and Appeal to Heaven, and the Blessings of Freedom. What are they about? They are about the way life ought to be. They are about how to prepare for, how to survive, and how to rebuild after the whole world goes into the ditch. I spent a good part of the day signing autographed copies and shipping them out to people. By the way, people have asked if you want to know how to get the books. I always put links down below here in the information section, right below the link to the Patreon channel. Say something about that in a minute. And excuse me for my coughs. I'm still getting over this. I'll try to not to cough any more than I absolutely have to. But if you want an autographed copy, there's a way to do that too, and it's down there in the links or in a pinned comment. I've started to do that. So I sent a whole bunch of books out today, and guess what? I ran out again. I've got this last set left. You guys are running me dry. The orders have just been exploding, and I love sending them out to you. And I tell you, there's no greater pleasure than I have than sitting down at my desk or dining room table or wherever I feel like at the moment, and sitting down and signing those to those of you who have taken the time to send me a note or a letter. And in some cases I've just getting great letters. I got some exceptional things, and I want to give thanks to a couple of people here. I got a patch, another patch from a law enforcement agency. Some of you know that it's a big deal in the law enforcement circles to trade patches of departments. Some time ago, somebody sent me a patch, and I mentioned it, and now I'm getting more people sending me patches from their departments, and I love it. Thank you very much for that. It means a lot to me. And after a while, if I get enough patches, when I get my new studio made up, I'll put them on a big board behind me, and that's really cool. I got an exceptional gift. I won't mention their name because I'm not sure that they would want me to, but they are a subscriber, another channel, an excellent channel. I've recommended them before. I will recommend them again. I won't do it this time because it's associated with a gift. But I got the most beautiful quilt in the mail from a very valued subscriber. They are someone that, and a thinker. This is one of the smartest people out there. I'm going to get back in a few videos and recommend this channel. I just don't want to associate with the gift because I'm not sure that they would want me to. But they sent, with, because actually they had ordered my books, and so in the mail I get, just yesterday I guess it was, a box. When I bring it home, it says open carefully, so I do. I always open everything with a knife, and I'm very careful, just in case it's ticking or smoking or anything like that. And so I do, and I unwrap it, and it is just a gorgeous quilt that they said they had made 4 years ago, and just didn't know who it was supposed to go to, and decided it was to go to me and my family. And the whole family, when I unwrapped it, I want you to know this, I called everybody around, and I unfolded it, and everybody looked at it, and they were just amazed. I can't thank you enough for that. That is more meaningful than I can tell you. So thank you so much. And it will be used. It will be in my family room. It will be used on chilly nights. Maybe as a tablecloth also in some cases, as you suggested, with Scotchgard. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, let's get back to this idea of wolf preppers. And the way I understand it, and I may be wrong, but I'm going to have to jump off here, and the idea apparently of the wolf prepper is that the one who will prey on other preppers, right? Those preppers who are not able to protect themselves. And I want to say a word about that because I think I know I come at things differently than many people do. Not just here, but in my life. I always think that a good offense is the best defense. We got an old saying that it's tough for them to throw a punch when they're busy blocking yours. So that's kind of where I start on this. I think that too many people in the prepper world kind of come at prepping from a defensive standpoint and almost a passive standpoint. And passivity can be dangerous. And what I mean by that, from the gray man concept to the don't be seen, it's kind of a hiding way. Okay, it's kind of a hiding way. It's a passive way, as opposed to an aggressive way. And I'm not a passive person. I'll say that. I know I'm kind of laid back and all that, but that is not at all passivity. And so a lot of people approach preparedness from that standpoint. Don't let anybody know what you have. Don't let anybody know what you've got. Don't let everybody, hide your house or just don't let anybody know anything about you. Essentially, construct a persona of a victim. Okay, a victim, a person who doesn't have anything worth taking. Okay, that is not what I suggest at all. Just like in today's world, a world after SHTF or RAW or whatever, there are going to be predators. And they are going to prey on the prey. Okay, there are going to be wolves out there. Who will go after the sheep, who will scurry around and try to hide behind the shepherd or the sheepdog. And the sheepdog is kind of one of those, like they say, that will try to defend the flock, so, to the extent that they can, until they get torn up by the wolves. There's another thing there. There's another strata there, and that's the wolfhound who was kind of bred to go out there and just tear the shit out of the wolves. Right? Excuse my French, but we're talking about the end of the world, right? I'm going to tell a story over on Patreon when I get done with this it's about my grandfather, and I write about it in one of the books, and it's how he took care of a situation when some men during the Depression tried to take a business away from him, and or part of it, or tried to make him pay protection, maybe put it that way. And the way that he did it, it solved the problem. I also talk about this in one of my books, How to Survive in the City. And there's an old thing, and some of you will be familiar with this, about hanging the wolf on the fence. It's an old story. I've never done it, but it's a good example, and that is, you having wolf problems, you kill one of them or two of them, and you hang their carcass on a fence. And pretty soon the rest of the wolves will say, look, dead wolves. That's what happens when wolves come here. I don't know if that works or not, okay? I'm not a Montana rancher with wolf problems and never have been. But it's a good story. And what I do know is that it works in life. It worked in law enforcement back when we did law enforcement differently than they do it today. Back in my day, we took care of our districts pretty much by ourselves. There was not the recidivism rate that there is now. There was not the kind of crime that there is now. Now, there were some bad boys back then, and had we not handled it, it would have evolved, and it did over the years, into what you see in the cities today. But it wasn't back then, and it's because of how we handled it. When a new guy came on and rode with me, I told him a couple of things. It was, back then we didn't have really specified FTOs, field training officers. Just occasionally they'd stick a new guy with you. my district was on the east side of Kansas City, a very, active, meaning violent district. I explained to my youngins they had to be careful. They had to watch everything. They had to assume that everybody out there was going to try them, and that they had to be ready for it. And how they responded the first time that somebody tried them was going to determine their future. And because, you know, the predators, the cities are full of predators. They're always looking for new meat. They're going to test when a new so-called boss comes to town. They're going to test him, see what's he got. Can he really handle himself? So I'd tell these young guys, I said, the first time that somebody swings on you, you don't block it. You don't take him down to the ground. You don't cuff him, put him in the car, and take him in for booking. I mean, you might do all that later. But first, you apply corrective measures. You respond in such a way that not only will he never, ever, ever think about doing that again, but the word will get around and make others not want to either. Period. I know that's just terrible nowadays. That's just, oh, you can't be saying stuff like that. You know what? That's how we were able to run districts so that nice people could actually walk down the street most of the time, because we handled the assholes. And we didn't call a bunch of other guys to come help us. Back then, if you couldn't do it by yourself, you didn't have any business being on the job. But that's what you did, because the word gets around. Now, how this applies to wolf preppers is, you know, whether you're thinking about just kind of a small WROL, you know, civil unrest, whatever like that, I refer you to Koreatown. when the whole city was burning out there, guess what didn't burn? The Koreatown didn't, because the Koreans got up on the roofs with guns and they started shooting people who came for them. Guess what happened? That crap stopped. You know why? Because the word gets around. Now let's take this to a full collapse of society. You don't wait. I do not suggest that people try to hide. I'm not going to hide. What kind of life is that? Let's prepare so we can hide. That's no kind of life. You be ready. When everything goes to hell, you better be ready and know that you're going to be tried. You're going to be attacked, perhaps. And how you respond the first time it happens, just like I told those young cops, is going to determine how your future goes. So when that bunch comes up, walking down your road, you don't wait at the house and wait for them to get there. Or if they're walking up your cul-de-sac or whatever you're going to do, you don't wait for them to get there and hope that they just won't come in, and then open your door meekly, tell everybody, be quiet, hide in the basement. Hell no. You tell everybody that they're, get your guns, this might be it. We're getting ready to solve us a problem. And you meet that threat out there as far away from your home base as you possibly can. Now, you know, you might be able to meet them some way a ways, and maybe you can't. But you meet them at the best possible location you can. And at the very beginning, there is no if, ands, buts, whatever. You establish that you're the one deciding what's going to happen. Now, I know there's a lot of people out there who say, well, you can't always do that. That's because you're not a predator. You don't think like a predator, you think like prey. Okay? And I'm going to get this in a minute. If you're not a predator, you better find a predator to get under their wing. Because prey is always going to be eaten because you don't think like a predator. You know, predators tend not to attack each other. Did you know that? Occasionally for dominance and things like that, and that can happen, but you know, that's a different dynamic. But predators tend to leave other predators alone. What are they after? They're after the prey. What are the prey always doing? They're trying not to be seen, right? They're trying to stay on the down low, or they're trying to be fast, or whatever. Blend in, be a chameleon, or hide, or be quiet. Maybe the panther won't eat me. Well, screw that. You know, I'll tell you what, the panther over here is not afraid of the wolf seeing it, right? So what I want to say here, I could take this down the line a lot, but I don't suggest that people try to adopt a passive way of existing, surviving. If the whole world goes to hell, you are not going to escape violence. You're not going to. So you had better be ready for it. You had better be skilled for it. And you had better get to it when the time comes. Because that is the surest way for you to be safe in the future. If you establish yourself as the apex predator, guess who's not going to come trying to mess with you? Pretty much everybody, right? Nobody's coming after you. But that's after you successfully dealt with the first one. And maybe a second one, maybe a third one. You know, whatever it takes. Yeah, but Steve, then they're just going to bring more guys. Oh, really? Where are they going to get these guys? You know, the Golden Horde, maybe? And then why don't you have guys? And that's another thing, selecting people. I'm going to make another one about, you all got to be careful about the people that you let in your groups. I see too much out there. I see people that aren't going to stand next to you. They're not going to stand with you. You're going to cause trouble in your groups. And I tell you what, if you think trouble from the outside is bad, trouble from the inside is even worse. You guys better be careful. That's why I'm so hard on people. Maybe I'll make one on that, but anybody will tell you. You ask anybody who knows me well and ask them, who is the hardest person on people that you know, and they'll say, me. Why? It's not because I'm an unfriendly person. I'm not. I like people. But I know that although most people aren't really bad, most people are weak. And that makes them dangerous because they will break down on you. They will let you down. That's why I'm hard on people. Usually, it doesn't take but about once with me. A person gets one chance. If you don't stand up when you should, if you know, whatever it is, that's it, because you're dangerous. Because you will be a danger to those who count on you. So this goes into the same thing. You need one of the ways that you prepare yourself to be able to deal aggressively as opposed to passively with threats, is you have a good bunch of people that you know have measured up. Not people who just get together and say, yeah, I want to be part of your preparedness group. I'm part of your mag. I'm part of your team. All this kind of bloviating BS. What it is, it's BS. You get the serious people, the people that you have seen stand up at the right times and never broken down at the wrong times. Then you've got a strong team. And then you're able to respond to threats aggressively, not passively. Because passively, all it does is postpone when you get eaten. Prey gets eaten. Predators eat. You know, you don't have to be a bad person to be a predator. And you shouldn't be. There will be plenty of bad people that are predators. But like we thought of ourselves back in the day. You know, we said there's a lot of mean-ass people, a lot of tough, mean-ass people out there on the streets victimizing good people. There needs to be some who are just as mean and tougher out there to take care of them. That's what it's about. So, be good, but be willing, be strong enough. Accept the responsibility of responding aggressively to threats, because you're going to help yourself and others. And as you help others, you're going to not just help them, but strengthen your group. So that's my answer to the wolf predator. Kill him. Simple as that. Be ready to, be willing to, and be able to. Okay, I think that's it. I think that's it. Now I'm going to make one for Patreon for those of you who want to hear how my grandfather handled somebody who tried to jack with him. It's a good story. Taught me a good lesson when I learned it when I was young. So anyway, you all have a good night. This is great getting back to the Buffalo Sweat. Remember, if you haven't read the Stone Mount series, you need to. It's a world that you will enjoy. You'll love reading about. It's got all sorts of preparedness lessons in there, survival lessons, lessons about how to deal with wolf predators. And we deal with them fast in there. And join us on Patreon if you'd like to. You all have a good night. Remember that we prepare well today in order to live well tomorrow. So I'm preparing well today by enjoying myself. And I intend to live well tomorrow because I ain't afraid of no wolf. Okay. Y'all have a good day. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.